Hey, hello, and welcome. Have you ever looked at a perfectly designed room and just thought, how did they do that? Well, today we're going to do something fun. We are pulling back the curtain on this amazing modern tropical style to find out exactly what makes it tick. Let's get into it. So, take a look at this space. I mean, it just feels so calm, so inviting, right? Everything seems to be in its perfect place. But here's the thing. Is that just a happy accident? A bunch of nice things thrown together? Or is there a formula here? A hidden plan that our brains just instantly recognize as beautiful? Well, that is the big question we're going to answer.
And the best way to wrap your head around this is to think about it like you're cooking a gourmet meal. To create a knockout space like this, you really only need two things. You need the right ingredients, those are the basic elements of design, and you need a really good recipe, which tells you exactly how to put all those ingredients together.
So, first up, let's take a look inside the pantry, shall we? We're going to start by breaking down the fundamental ingredients that build this whole modern tropical vibe right from the ground up. Okay, the first and maybe the most basic ingredient of all is line. I mean, lines are literally everywhere. Think of them as invisible pathways that guide your eyes around a room. They tell you where to look, what's important, and they can totally change the mood, making a space feel energetic or calm or tall. And what's so cool here is how all these different lines are working in harmony. You see those soft, flowing, curved lines in the chair and that light fixture? They give the whole space a really gentle, relaxed feel. But then you've got the plants. Their strong, vertical lines shoot your eyes upward, which makes the whole room feel taller and way more open. It's that combination that's so clever. Our next ingredient is texture. And let me tell you, texture is the secret weapon for making a space feel rich and real. It's all about adding depth so a room doesn't feel flat and one-dimensional. It's the thing that makes you want to reach out and touch everything. And this just nails it, right? This design is an absolute masterclass in using texture. Just imagine for a second, running your hand over that smooth, buttery fabric on the sofa, and then feeling the coarse, natural weave of that big jute rug or the rattan chair. It's that difference, that contrast, that gives the space so much personality. And of course, there are a few other must-have ingredients in the mix. You've got the color palette, which is built on these super calming, earthy neutrals. But then you get those essential pops of green to really sell that tropical feel. The shapes are almost all organic and rounded, which feels really natural and soft. And finally, look at how they've used space. It feels so light and airy, but it's not empty. It's still got that cozy, inviting thing going on. Okay, so we've got all our ingredients prepped and ready to go. But just having flour, eggs, and sugar doesn't make a cake, right? You need the recipe. So let's see how the principles of design combine everything into one delicious final look. The very first rule in our recipe book is balance. Now, this room uses something called asymmetrical balance. That doesn't mean you have two identical lamps on either side of the couch. No, that can be a little rigid. Instead, it's about making things feel balanced by distributing the visual weight. So a big, heavy couch on one side can be balanced out by a lighter chair and a tall plant on the other. It feels way more natural and dynamic that way. Next up, we've got contrast. And this is where things get really fun. Contrast is basically the spice in your design dish. It's that amazing interplay of opposites, light against dark, smooth against rough, that just makes a room pop and gives it a ton of energy. And here's the perfect breakdown. On one hand, you have all these light, smooth things, the pale colors, the soft couch, and on the other, you've got the dark and rough, the deeper greens, the rich wood, that woven rattan and jute. It's this beautiful tension between the two that makes the design feel so alive. Every great room needs a star of the show. And in design, we call that emphasis, or the focal point. It's the very first place your eyes land when you walk in. And it basically anchors the entire design. And in our room, there's no question what that is, right? It's the couch area, hands down. And why is that? Well, it's because it's where all the best ingredients come together. It has the most interesting textures, the boldest pops of color from those cushions, and some really cool art. It's like a magnet for your eyes. All right, we've taken it all apart, we've looked at the ingredients, we've studied the recipe. Now let's put on our new design expert glasses and take one more look at the whole picture. See it a little differently now? It's not just some random pretty room anymore, is it? You can actually see the decisions. You can see the formula. You can spot the deliberate choices that were made to create that effortless feeling.
Now you can see how those soft, curved lines and the organic shapes all add up to create that gentle, flowing, relaxed mood.
And you can spot how the repetition, using that same rattan texture in the chair and the lamp, and repeating those little pops of green, is what makes the whole design feel unified and totally intentional. And you can definitely see how that awesome contrast between different textures and colors creates a space that is dynamic and interesting and just full of life. The big takeaway here is that none of this happened by accident. It's all part of the plan. So now you have the tools. You've got the framework to deconstruct pretty much any design you see. You can walk into a room and not just feel that it works, but you can understand why it works. And that, my friends, is a design superpower. So I guess the only question left is, now that you know the secrets, now that you can see the matrix behind the magic, what are you going to notice out in the world? And more importantly, what are you going to create?